The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Miller, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
41 Mike, right here. 41 Mike. Take that, Andy. 41's coming. 41's the Mike. Drop deep, drop deep. 41's the Mike. 41's the Mike. Check 41.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
The Ravens take over.
Come on, guys, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Watson now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, 41's Mike. 41's Mike. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
Now Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Hey, pick your game up.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now a first down throw, Watson. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
First down, Houston.
This is it. 19. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. I got it. I got it. Pick that. Pick that. That's 55. Alert.
On first down, Watson. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
This will be fielded at the 8. So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of the new season. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
At the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Check 99. Check 99. He's coming. Double up. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
They go again with Muhammad. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. Set. Now the wolf. I don't even know why this team showed up.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
That's good for a
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Check 25. Slam, slam, slam. Check 43. Slam, slam, slam.
A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. They go play action now. Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown there to make the grab as the Ravens push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touch. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chris Wormley, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Another try after the first down sack. Watson. Room here to run. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Key in 21. It's coming this way. Here we go. Shift. Watch the shift. Check. Go.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Big Ed. Watch twist, please. Twist. Check 26, check Togo. Shoot.
Here's Muhammad. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Check 52. Check. Crunch. Wide. Get up.
They'll keep it on the ground. Muhammad, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Watch safety 9. Safety screaming. 2 points down, he's coming.
Second and 5 now. Watson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Wormley, his 2nd sack of the night. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Back.
Back to throw, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Undercoach. Mike 52. Watch the run.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
It is 3rd down.
Reset. Let's get it. And let's get it. Check. Bragno. Let's up. First thing. Out. 24. That's it.
Now it's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Reset. 19.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Check three. 9 of them.
A first down carry now for Miller. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 33.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
It'll go as a gain of 33, and that play started back at their own 33. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bradley Roby, the ex-Buckeye, with a corner blitz and the sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Jackson is going to float this one deep right side. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off inside the 5. Then he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to leave.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Tyus Bowser with a pick. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
Ready? Watch tight end. Check nickel.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Kill. Check safety. Switch. Sponge. No. Kill.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. 15 yards. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1, oh good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one.
Set.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 17. Watson now to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
We got 4. We got 4.
To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Tavon Young in on the tackle.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen as a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in the game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
Motion. Reset.
Now a give, right side. Muhammad, room past the 20. It's a foot race. The 40, the 20. 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. 92 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 40. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The 41-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Go. Got double tight. 4 down. Check. 4 down. Hey. Watch twist.
They'll keep it on the ground. Muhammad And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary.
4 down, 4 down. Watch that. Kill. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Rock, deuce. Zip it.
On 3rd down, Muhammad, and this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Not good at all. Punted just 24 yards there. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for Baltimore, they start the campaign with a victory in front of an enthusiastic home crowd for a Sunday night. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
ST, I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. I come to bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take nosebleeds. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze. Freeze. Stop you in your tracks. There's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up?